March 1st, 2020. That was 4 years ago. I had just got off of work. I was working at Crunch. All right. It was a long, long day of working. And at the time, I thought to myself, man, long day. I just want to go to the club. I just want to have a drink. I just want to have fun. I just spent all day working and I'm just like fed up. I was crying. I was a little baby. Okay. We get to the club. I'm there with my boy. It's packed. We're chilling. We're vibing. We start taking some shots. I got a Corona, some more shots. You know, when your boy knows people, you just start getting shots after shots, right? Everyone wants to have a good time. Only to find out, the club closed. We're walking. My boy orders an Uber because none of us can drive. I'm in that Uber. We're driving, and I'm falling asleep, right? I'm falling asleep, but I can feel I'm nauseous. And only to find out, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna puke. And my boy's is next to me, and I start just puking on my shoulder. I You have to understand. I was puking. Look at that. I started puking on my shoulder. My boy's like to the Uber, hey, stop. And the Uber like, what is he doing? Oh, he said, no, stop. So we stopped in the middle of the road. My boy pulled me out, tossed me to the curb. And luckily, God's always on my side somehow, some way. The Uber happened to have plastic covering on the seats. Smart man. And he's like, like my boy's like, don't charge us, let me just clean this up. And he cleaned everything up, brought everything out. He's like, are you not gonna charge us? He said, no, I'm not gonna charge you. All right, thank you, bye. And he left. I remember sitting there and I can barely remember anything. But I'm sitting there and we had to walk somewhere. And that's when I walked towards this like gas station. I'm leaning up against this car and I'm freezing. There's a freezing cold. And my boy gives me his gloves. Shout out to my boy, and I'm sitting there just like, oh man, there's vomit on my sweater, vomit on my butt, just because everything was, it was horrible. That was 4 years ago. I look back and I think to myself, what was I thinking? Truth is, I didn't really have a way to deal with the stress. I didn't really have a way to deal with the things that were going inside internally. I had also just broken up with my ex-girlfriend of 2 years, like 2 months before that. So I was going through it, new job, new town. I just moved there 4 months ago, I just moved there 4 months in 2019. I moved, that was 2020, March 2020. I moved to Gainesville November 2019, technically December. So I was new town, I broke up with my ex-girlfriend, and I was around different influences, okay? My friends at the time, they went out a lot. My boy specifically, I love him to death, one of my best friends. He was going out 4 days a week. In a college town like Gainesville, going out 4 days a week is normal, right? And that's the thing. These are just habits and ways of reacting to life by people who don't understand that the pressure and stress that you feel about your job, relationship, body, all of that is there to push you for your evolution. If there was no pressure, if there was no stress, there would be no reason for you and I to even evolve, to even grow. See, the pressure and stress just doesn't feel good. And so we've been just taught that we need to be happy. We need to feel good about life. That feeling bad is not a good thing. And what's that led us to is led most people to do things that make them feel good, but knowing there's a delayed pain that comes with that. And that's what drinking really is. Drinking, smoking, lust, food. And you're not feeling too hot. You're like, man, like you're bogged down, like stress. Man, things are tough. It feels tough. It feels like a lot of weight on your shoulders. And what you want to ultimately do is alleviate that pressure, that stress. And one of the quickest ways is to turn to these things that are just immediate stress relievers. Food. Food feels great when you eat it. Oh my God, it tastes so good. Boom, stress is gone for the moment. You feel better. Your taste buds. Alcohol. Start drinking, that first sip. Maybe 30 minutes later, man, I feel good. An hour later, man, I feel really good. I feel good. I feel good, man. How many times have you said that to your boy? No, I feel good. You feel good? No, I feel good. One more shot? Fuck it, do one more shot. Because you want to keep it going. You finally feel better. After certain things are going on, you feel like life is better. It's not. You're taking an opportunity and turning it into a problem. You know how the saying, instead of turning problems into, instead of thinking about problems, those problems are opportunities, where you're taking an opportunity and you're turning it into a problem, right? Because you're taking the opportunity to become better, to push forward, to find a way out of the situation, to prevail, and you're turning it into a problem because you're drinking. Now, the next day you're going to be hungover. You're going to feel like shit. You're not going to be at your optimum state. Realize, change the perspective of what it is that what's going on in your life right now. God is pushing me to be better, not to be worse. Most people around you, most people do not like stress. Most people do not like pressure. Even though we all feel it. Every single one of us feels pressure and stress. That is part of life. And if you can understand that that is there to push you, you will do something different. So what do? What do? I go right into exercise. I exercise, I discipline myself. I don't sit here and try to find a way to, I know that if I turn to vices, it will not help me out. I know for a fact it will not help me. I have come to the conclusion that when I feel stressed and I feel pressure, my principle is, this is making me better. God wants me to be better. I know it hurts. I know it's tough, but if it didn't happen, I would not be forced to become better. When you can bring your self-talk to that, you act on that. You make a positive act, not a negative act. So it's about rewiring the way you think about how you feel in the moment. Okay, I don't feel the best. I can do something about this that is going to create a positive outcome, not a negative outcome. And that is practicing self-control. That is practicing discipline. I'm going to do the thing I know won't feel good right now, but afterwards it will feel good. That's self-control. And if you can constantly do that delayed gratification, you start rewiring your brain that stress and pressure. All right, this is part of my level up. This is part of my level up. And you start climbing the ladder. You start really elevating yourself. You start realizing that you can help more people, and because you've gotten better, because you're not doing what most people are doing, which is sidelining and realize, oh, I don't like the stress. Oh, this is part, like long day, hard day. You realize, man, people are weak mentally. People talk about, I want a stronger mindset. You're not going to get a stronger mindset from reading a book. It's too comfortable. You get a stronger mindset by doing the difficult things. Waking up really early, working out every day, eating certain meals, restricting yourself from eating too much, restricting yourself from lust, jerking off, being disciplined in a certain routine on a daily basis, whether you feel like it or not. And those fucking days start to fucking stack up. Those days start to add up. Eventually you start getting around other people that you used to hang out with, and you realize, you will never realize your growth until you're around people who you used to hang out with, and you're like, man, I don't think the same, I don't look the same, I don't feel the same. All right? Use this as the opportunity. Do not turn your opportunities into problems. Keep them as opportunities. Keep them as possibilities. Let's fucking go.